Hey, I'm Douglas Mitchell.
You know who this person is. It's Joe Taylor. You know we gotta keep it top notch and keep it moving to the next location.
We're alone this time.
We do not have our
Raven with a D.
Raven with a D today. Some bad communication happened, but we're gonna continue to do what we have to do for this the upcoming events and the upcoming episodes until we go into season 2.
How many? Hold on, before we go anywhere though, how many episodes did I originally say I wanted compared to how much y'all want?
Dude, you said 60 something.
I said 40.
Something like that. I don't know.
That's a big number.
That's a big, huge number. But we gonna give props to the veterans outside. Veterans today. It's Veterans Day. It's a good honor. I have 2 veteran.
You can go ahead and shout them out if you want.
Grandfathers out there. One on my dad's side, and then one on my mother's side, and then I have another Navy Marine on my
Navy or Marine.
Yeah, and then I have a friend that would be back for Christmas. And then again, I'm very happy. I'm actually excited. He's coming back for Christmas. We're gonna spend like a whole week with him, and then he's getting shipped back off, and then he'll be back in like I think February, March. Cool. So he's gonna be considered as a veteran, I believe. I hope. Maybe. I think he might.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know how that works.
I know. Thank you. That's all I gotta say.
It's just an honor. It's the friends I tend to hang out with. I'm kind of happy and then kind of sad at the same time because there's certain things that I can't control, but it's life, and then most people want to go into that field.
That'll probably be comfortable if you put the kickstand down. Yeah, we were having a moment of comfortableness on this cast. We're out here at the same park bench we've been meeting at to talk to y'all, which, I don't know, that seems like that. Does this every time.
Okay, and then let's talk about this shooting that we all heard about, the Texas church shooting that happened just recently.
Yeah.
I want to bring that up, to be honest.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Why?
Why did it happen?
Yes.
Well, first you have to understand who it was. All right.
Right.
I think it was ex-airman who had gotten kicked out of his corps or his branch, not corps. That's Marines. I'm sorry.
Right.
For beating up his wife and assaulting her and assaulting his stepson.
Okay,
and I'm sure that, being that that's how he got kicked out, and I actually know a lot about the story because I've been doing a lot of research on it.
Right.
I'm sure that there was some miscommunication within the chain of command that allowed him to buy a gun.
Right.
And because what it sounds like is Academy did a background check and he came up clean.
Right.
So it's not Academy's fault for this man getting a gun. It's whoever whose chain of command who didn't process the charges properly, because he did get court-martialed, he did get thrown out. So whoever didn't do their job where they needed to do it is how this incident happened. And I don't want to place the blame on anybody, but that chain of command needs to be first punished. And I don't mean punish as in push-ups. I mean punish as in...
Are you talking about...
resignations within that chain of command.
Are you saying requirements?
No, their chain of command didn't report his charges to the U.S. government or whoever they needed to report it to, from what I hear. So what they ended up dealing with is somebody who wasn't allowed to buy guns by the Air Force standards, but legally was allowed to buy guns by civilian standards.
So he was able to buy a gun by the civilian standards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the Academy is not going to look back into his military history. In fact, they're going to see military history. They're not going to know
oh, this guy
that he got discharged. They're going to be like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing with a weapon. He's the first person we're selling to.
Right.
And so they're going to meet him at the counter before they meet any other person there. Just like you'd meet a marksman at a counter if you were a rifle salesman. You wouldn't go off and meet little granny Georgina because she don't know nothing about no rifle, so you're not really trying to sell to her. I mean, she's probably looking to buy one, but it's not the place you really want to be
and
putting your information out.
That's what we kind of talked about in class the other day. I'm a college student. So we basically had a conversation about how gun control in general, like if you kind of if you bring it down to a broad, like a level that everybody would understand, it makes sense if certain people were not required to have a shotgun and all this extra this hunting gear in quotations.
Well, look,
unless if you're hunting, it's pointless to get a hunting gun if you're not hunting for something.
Well, the reason why you can't regulate that is because the way someone knows if you're about to go hunting is if you have your hunting gear out, your hunting license out, and you're on game property. The problem with that is you won't always have your hunting license if you're out at the range, or you won't have your hunting license if you're down with your semi-automatic rifle,
Right.
sitting down at your ranch shooting whatever you want. Look, that's not my issue. My issue is someone within either the Air Force and I don't particularly want to blame Academy, but I do, because their background check shouldn't just be, oh, he was in the military, and not look at that at all. But someone didn't do their job, either in the Air Force or in the Army, or not the Army, or in the government, or in the Academy's chain of command, or in their leadership skills.
Right.
So someone didn't do their job, and it caused several people. The youngest victim in that gunfight was 18 months. Yeah.
Almost 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
That's
bad.
That's a little bad, yeah. And they kind of want to blow it off and act like nothing happened and it's no big deal and blah blah blah, etc., etc. And I'm like, well, something did happen. Something bad did happen to these people.
Right.
And, you know, the worst anyone did. And the problem is everybody's so used to seeing this guy shot up this place, this person shot up this place, that it's becoming so real to find and hear that now when people hear stuff like that, well, like when I first heard it, I was saddened. But unlike the Sandy Hook
shooting,
yeah,
that's what I wanted.
I wasn't torn apart. Sandy Hook shooting was
because you have to think about it.
But that didn't happen for a while. Nothing had been shot up for a while, and then that happened, and then the nightclub with the LGBTQ community happened, and then
no, but that's my question.
Vegas, and then now this.
You got the Sandy Hook shooting, but then when they did a search warrant in his home, they assumed that the dude played a video game. And I put that down as one of the topics that I wanted to talk about in my class, because there's certain beliefs that, or there's certain things that violence games that have guns could cause a situation like that. It could, in a certain extent, because they get that mentality that's like, oh, I want to see that happen in action, and they get so hungry for it to the point they want to do that.
But I don't believe that's what it was. Not at all.
That's how I see it as, you know? The reason why I
can
see
see
it that
why.
way. Yeah.
I can. Look, if you really look at it, I can see why that would be your first thought, because you're allowing someone the ability to experience it virtually, and then they're going to want to experience it realistically.
Yes.
But then again, I also want to say, I have never gotten the urge
to do that,
to go off on a 15-man rampage.
And I respect that, you know, but at the same time, that's how I see it as. I'm not saying that you're going to go sit out there and shoot somebody.
I get it. You
but
know, if you know someone's not mentally capable of making these decisions properly, then don't give them a game that enables them to make that decision.
In that Sunday shooting, that was a veteran that did that.
It was also, but he was also.
So he was getting,
Was it? I thought it was a mentally challenged kid. That
Yeah, it could.
I thought it was the veteran for what's it called, the LGBTQ thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's just as I seen it as that, it was just okay, you know.
But special children, or I don't know how I'm supposed to address them because you're not allowed to address it anymore. You're not allowed to be like, oh well, he's special. They're just human. They're not challenged. They're not special. You're not allowed to tell them what they are.
Right.
Or to put a name to it, because then that's degrading, regardless of whether you really mean for it to be degrading. So I don't know what to call them. But if you enable someone like that, who has the mentality that they can't make their own decisions safely and intelligently,
Right.
don't go off and buy them a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 or
You're right.
Saints Row, because those are games about criminals being criminals. If you're going to buy them a game...
And that was another topic they brought up, criminals being criminals. But sometimes you got to think about it. Before a criminal becomes a criminal, there's certain criminals that are really, really, like, not actually a criminal. They just, like, assume to be a criminal because they end up doing something bad. And then they come out. They'll go in as labeled as a criminal. They come out 10 times worse than they came in.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Why you put a label on somebody?
Look at the system. Look at the system we have. We have a big square house that we send all our bad peoples to. Okay, they call this the reform system. But the only thing it reforms is your mindset from being on a bad start to now all I want to do is the bad thing because all you've done is set me with a bunch of people who are telling me that's a good thing to do.
Right.
So they're like, oh well, this'll change your life. Yes, it's going to change their life. You're going to send them to a place where they're going to learn all the tips and tricks. That way they don't get caught next time.
Right.
And when they do get caught, they're going to go back and learn more tips and tricks because they think that they're going to learn all the tips and tricks and not get caught next time. But what it really is you're talking to a bunch of people who got caught. They don't know the tips and tricks.
Basically.
But my thing is, if you make guns illegal, there will be more gun violence.
Like,
I'm sorry, but it's true to me. If you make something illegal, someone's going to be upset about that.
Right.
Someone's going to want to do it, you know. Look at alcohol. Look at prohibition.
Yeah.
It went from, okay, so a lot of people are doing this, to literally everybody, including the chief of the police, are out getting drunk. And moonshiners are doing things, which my mom was watching when I left. She was watching moonshiners.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how illegal it is, and I was like, then why are y'all making a whole film production on it?
It's just how it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's what I see it as. You know? The reason why I see it that way is because I'm not against it. It's a certain belief. It's a certain disgrace that it's not a disgrace. It's a certain belief.
I respect that.
It's a certain belief that I see it as. You know, like I said, I am a college Republican. I am an independent Republican.
To move away,
college Republicans.
To move away from such a dark topic,
you know.
So I'm on the Maritime City Council. I got 2 VIP passes to the Epic for one day. And the first thing, everyone that I have told them except for you for some reason, because I just told you that,
right?
Have been like, so when we going?
Nowhere.
When we hold on, we.
What you talking about?
I said, so I told my brother that, and he's like, so you're taking me, right? And I was like, yeah. No. I love you, but no. Do you know when that's supposed to open?
What?
The Epic.
Yeah.
That sounds like a negative. Oh, man. So we went to this meeting. The Maritime City Council. They set us down and they were talking about this is a good way to learn how politics work on a local level. And I was like, all right, well, that makes sense. He said not all cities are the same, that everything's different. He started talking about why he built the Epic, Ron Jensen.